All right, in today's video, we're going to check out a few of the official cases from Samsung for the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Before we get started, I did mention in a pinned comment in the last video that I would show what the S Pen looks like for this titanium jet black S25 Ultra. I am loving this color option, by the way. All black, just jet black. And to make good on that promise, let's go ahead and show it off here. This is what the S Pen looks like for this particular model. All right. So we've got the silicone case, the rugged case, the clear transparent case, the Kindsuit case, as well as the standing grip case. Let's go ahead and get them unboxed. All right, we've got them unboxed, and before we take a look at each one of them individually, let's go ahead and weigh them up. We'll start with the silicone case. All right, right off the bat, we're looking at 29 grams, 30 grams. All right, next one is a rugged case. Let's go ahead and get it on here. 44 grams, and I'm sorry if that looks a little bit blurry. It's not in person. I don't know why, my camera's not liking the scale too much, but we got 44 grams, so this one is approximately 14, 15 grams, so 50% heavier than the silicone case. Let's go ahead and check out the transparent case. All right, 19, 20 grams, another light case. Now let's go ahead and check out the Kindsuit case. All right, 28 grams, just a little bit heavier than the transparent and silicone cases. We've got one left. This is going to be the kickstand case. All right, 45 grams. So it looks like this one and the rugged case are the heaviest. And then the other three, they're all about the same. They're quite a bit lighter, so about 50% weight reduction as compared to these rugged and kickstand cases. Now let's go ahead and take a look at each one of these on their own. All right, so first up, let's start with the silicone case. So here it is. It's a very smooth material, including the back, which I'm personally not a huge fan of because it does make it a little bit slippery on your tables. But nonetheless, that's what you expect from a silicone case. If we get up here close, you will see we have some nice camera bump protection. And if we go over to the other side, you'll see that our volume rocker and our power key rockers is a little bit lighter color. We've got basically a gray color going on. So let's go ahead and get this on the device. All right, we'll go ahead and put the volume rockers and power key in first. I always do that. That way we're not rubbing up against them. All right, here we go. So real simple installation. I think it looks really clean. It does make the device look a little bit lighter. Again, we have like a darkish gray as opposed to a jet black. But I actually like it a lot. It blends in well with the phone. I think it's very aesthetically pleasing. The material's very soft, as you would expect from this. And that's about all there really is to it. We'll take a look at the cutouts to make sure everything's intact. Everything looks fine. You would expect this from a Samsung case. And we do have the covers for the power and volume rockers, so you don't see them exposed. So let's check the feeling of that. You can hear the clicks. So it's very tactile. I think that's really important when considering a case like this because a lot of these buttons that cover the actual volume and power keys, they're really mushy sounding. These are very tactile. So yeah, this is a silicone case. All in all, I like it. All right, so next up we have the rugged case. So this is a completely different material than the silicone, obviously. This is more of a hard plastic. And you can see the little tiny rivets in the back of the case. It makes this kind of sound when you go side to side. And they're only side to side type rivets, meaning if you go this way, it makes no sound at all. So it's not like a cross stitch or anything like that. It's just the rivets going this way. Just point that out because that'll help with sliding left or right, but it's not going to help much with sliding forward and backwards. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the camera bump protection here. Let me get that into focus. All right, it looks pretty good, but it's not quite as pronounced as a silicone case. Let's make sure we check this one out with the device on it because the other one had plenty of clearance. But otherwise, we also have this clear sides, these side panels here on each side. So it's going to show the device color coming through it. And then we also have the tactile type buttons here. So let's go ahead and get the Galaxy S25 Ultra in here real quick. See what it looks like. All right, so all in all, I think it looks pretty nice. This case looks just a little bit darker than the silicone case. So if you're trying to match the original color, this is probably going to be a better option for you. Let's take a look at that camera bump here. Oh yeah, we've got plenty. We're fine there. No concerns whatsoever. We got plenty of protection for our camera bump. And then these side panels here, this kind of makes it look real interesting. It's pretty sweet here. We can see the Samsung logo coming through on the side. So if you're into branding, this looks really nice. And if we go to the other side, we have a similar situation without the branding, where we have the volume keys and the power button. And let's go ahead and check the feedback on these buttons. Very tactile, just like the silicone case. I'm liking that a lot. To me, that's really important. I hate mushy buttons. So all in all, a nice offering. You'll see here as well, we have a little bit of extra protection on the corners. All right, you see how we have a little bit more on each one of the corners? So if you happen to take a corner hit, this should provide a little bit better protection than the other case offerings. Let's go ahead and check the cutouts as well. Everything's looking real nice, just as we would expect from an OEM case. I would not expect any surprises there. Everything's nice and flush. That's looking really great. All right, next up we have the transparent clear case for the S25 Ultra. This one is super light. We do have a little bit of raised protection here for our camera bump. All right, looks like that just came into focus. One thing that does concern me just a little bit is we don't have any real protection on the bottom here. So naturally you'll have some corner protection, but you're not going to have anything covering up your ports. We do have covering for our power key and our volume rockers, so we'll see what they feel like. All right, let's go ahead and see what the S25 Ultra looks like in here. All right, we'll get this in here. This one appears to be a little bit more of a snug fit than the other cases, so that's pretty nice. Let's see what the color looks like. Oh, that's pretty sweet. Minus all the thumbprints and stuff. You know, you're gonna have to do a lot of wipe downs with this case, naturally being clear plastic like this. But I really do appreciate the natural color coming through from the phone. Let me give this a quick wipe down. All right, that helped quite a bit. Yeah, that's looking pretty nice. I definitely like how it looks truly black. You know, the other ones kind of have that darker gray tint to it. But, you know, there are some downsides with this case. It's going to show up everything, every little thing, and you're going to have to make sure the underside of the case is really clean before you put your phone in it. And my other concern, like I mentioned, is no protection down here at the bottom. Probably not the biggest of deals, you know, as long as you take a hit on the corners, but do keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and check out the volume rockers and stuff. I am not liking this at all. I don't like the way this volume rocker feels at all. I'm just being straight up with you guys. The down one feels okay. Maybe the case needs to be put in here a little bit better. There it goes. Okay, I'm sorry about that. This case is a little peculiar on getting that in there right. All right, let's check that out again. Much better, okay. Not quite as tactile as the other ones. Not sure if that's coming through, but it still feels pretty good. It's not mushy or anything like that. So far, I will have to admit though, this is probably my least favorite of the three cases that we've looked at so far for this reason, and just because it shows up everything. But the options here nonetheless. All right, next up, let's check out the Kindsuit Case from Samsung. So right off the bat, I really like the feeling of this one. It feels very interesting. It almost feels like it's a blend between cloth and some type of plastic. It feels like they're blended together. On the inside here that touches your device, this is like a felt material. It almost feels like the top of a pool table. So that's really nice. And then if we look over this, let's take a look at the camera bump protection. That looks pretty solid as well. And here we can see the material. It looks a little bit like a car dash, and it kind of feels like that as well. It's kind of a trippy feeling case. And I do feel like this is going to add a little bit of extra grip for keeping your phone from sliding around as well. If we go around it, looks like we have our normal cutouts, so we do have our regular protection around here. No extra additional coverage on the corners. It's just really a plain Jane case, but I do like the aesthetics of it. Let's go ahead and put the S25 Ultra in here and see what it looks like. All right, so here's what the S25 Ultra looks like in it. Looks pretty nice. I think that's a pretty close color match as well. You know, it is more on the dark gray than black side, but it's really close, and it gives it kind of a two-tone look with our camera bump there. All in all, I'm liking this case quite a bit. I like it a little bit more than the silicone case, and those two seem very similar to me. So yeah, pretty nice case here. All right, and lastly for today's video, we are going to take a look at the standing grip case. So here it is. So this has the clear sides, so you're going to get the natural device color all the way around the sides of the device. We also have protection for our volume keys and our side key / power button. We don't have protection on the bottom, which is rather unfortunate. You know, again, I'm not sure if that's really such a big deal since we do have the corner protection, but I want to throw that out there nonetheless. And if we go around the top, let's take a look at the camera protection. All right, let me get that into focus. Ew, this has the least amount of camera protection out of all of them. Let's go ahead and get the S25 Ultra in here, and we'll take a look at this kickstand stuff as well. Oh, before we do, I should mention the inside of this. It's just a really smooth, non-porous feeling texture. It feels fine. This ought to be just great against your phone itself. All right, let's go ahead and get the S25 Ultra in here real quick. Another tight fitting case here. Make sure I have that all the way in. There we go. That's fitting a lot like the transparent case. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. All right, so we can see a little bit of the device color coming through. I think it does give it kind of a gray tint, but then again, that could be the lighting here in my office. We'll go around here. I do like that though. It looks pretty nice. Can we see any logos and stuff on the side? No, we sure can't. On the bottom here, you know, it's what we talked about. No protection on the bottom whatsoever. Go up on the top. All the cutouts look good, as you would expect, you know, from an OEM case. Let's check out the volume rockers and power button. Yeah, very nice. Very nice indeed. No issues whatsoever. They're not mushy. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot. And that camera bump, let's just make sure we have enough protection there. Just barely. Just barely. I mean, it's going to do the job, but you wouldn't want to go slamming your phone down on the table or anything. There's not much there. All right, now the star of the show for this particular case is obviously this built-in, you know, hand-holding strap slash kickstand. So the way this works is you want to just push down from the top and push it down this way. Let me do that just like that. And now you can hold the device back here like this with either hand, doesn't matter. And then we're going to have a couple different positions that we can put it into. So let's go ahead and try this one first. So this works. It's at a pretty steep angle. And what I mean by that is it's pretty close to wanting to go forward and topple over. They should have kind of made this strap go up here a little bit higher. You know, they should have raised this up maybe 2 or 3 more millimeters so it inclined back just a little bit further. It's a little sketchy. It'll do the job. Let me see if I can go like that. It'll give you a better idea. So it's just like at that angle right there. It's fine. Just be careful with it. Now, if we flip it over the other way, let's see if we can do it this way. Yeah, just don't push on that corner, but that'll be fine for viewing content. I actually prefer that angle kind of better. That's going to get you a more steep angle like this. Can we do any portrait mode type stuff? Highly unlikely. Let's just see here. Yeah, that's not happening. Let's see this one. Yeah, no, that's not happening either. All right, so you can do the 2 landscape positions. It's just this like rubber type feeling, and it's got a little bit of the grips inside of there. You see that? I'm trying to get that on camera. So it does feel like this is made to last. This is pretty thick as well. I'd say that's like maybe 3 to 4 millimeters. That's a chunky strap right there. So I think this is going to hold up well over the test of time. It's hard to tell how well this mechanism will hold up though. You know, the sliding mechanism. Over time, these eventually kind of get loose. But all in all, I think it functions fine. Hopefully it lasts a long time. The color itself, let me see if I can get this closed up there. Yeah, that's cool. I have a feeling this might get a little sloppy after time. And if we take a look at the color here, you see it gives the phone kind of a two-tone look a little darker on the sides and this darkish gray. I wouldn't call this black. It's more of a super, super dark gray. That's black. The camera modules are black. This is like a super dark gray, and it does give it a cool, you know, two-tone type look. I do like that. Look how that light's hitting off there. All right, that wraps up a first look at these official cases here from Samsung. My least favorite is probably going to be the transparent case, and I think for me personally, it's going to be a two-way tie for my favorite. That's going to be the standing case, just because of the functionality you get from that strap, and also the rugged case. I really like the corners, the extra protection here on the corners, and it doesn't really make the case weigh too much more. All right, if you have any questions or comments, please drop them down below. Really do appreciate your time. And as always, thanks for watching.